this bug, are we? For one thing, it's made out of plastic. Hello, friends, and welcome to another adventure with fantastic first grade frogs. And today, in fact, all week, we are thinking about insects. That's right, insects. Wonderful, wonderful insects because they are so cool. So, we're going to start with this great book called Incredible Insects because they are pretty incredible. The author's name is Zoe Barnes, and on the front we can see this wonderful butterfly. It's pretty incredible. Incredible insects. Oh, and there is one just looking at you. Now, in the table of contents, we find out that Chapter 1 is about Meet the Insects, Chapter 2 is about insect skills, and Chapter 3 is about amazing insects. But we're going to read the whole book. Chapter 1, Meet the Insects. Insects may be tiny, but take a close look. You will see that they are incredible. This is a shorthorn grasshopper. Isn't it beautiful? What makes an insect an insect? All insects have 3 body parts: head, thorax, and abdomen. They also have 6 legs and 2 antennae. So, on this diagram here, it's showing us the abdomen, the thorax, and the head. We're going to talk about that more this week when we talk about insects. They also have 6 legs: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 antennae on the front of their head. In the information box it says, spiders are not insects because they have 8 legs. So we have to keep that in mind. We're not talking about spiders here. They have 8 legs, not 6. All insects have a hard covering called an exoskeleton. Now remember, these are invertebrates. They do not have bones in their body, but they do have an exoskeleton. Exoskeleton means an outside skeleton. Exo means outside. So they have kind of like a hard part around them. Whereas we keep our hard parts on the inside of our body, right? We keep our bones on the inside. They keep their hard parts on the outside. So they have an exoskeleton. This protects their soft insides. It says most insects have wings for flying. And so it's showing you the exoskeleton on a ladybug. Insects are the most common kind of creature on Earth. 90% of all the world's animals are insects. Let's learn all about them. So, if you had 10 animals all lined up in a row, 9 of them would be insects. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? So in this diagram here, it's showing 90% of the world's animals are insects, 10% are other kinds of animals. So we have butterflies, dragonflies, moths, honeybees, ants, grasshoppers, beetles, and so many other kinds. Chapter 2, Insect Skills. Insects are very adaptable. They live in hot places and cold places. They live in trees and on the ground. Some even live in the water. Splash! This happens to be a diving beetle. Insects have keen senses that are different from other animals. The eyes of a horsefly have thousands of tiny lenses. The ears of a katydid are on its legs. So here's a horsefly, and we can see its eyes. They have compound eyes, which means they have like all kinds of little lenses all over, looking in all different directions. It's so cool. And here's the katydid. That's a relative of a grasshopper. And the katydid has ears on its legs. It says many insects taste with their feet. Can you imagine going around tasting with your feet? Wouldn't that be interesting? Many insects are social animals. They live and work together in large groups called colonies. One hive can have 80,000 bees. Wow, that's a lot of bees. There are even insects that migrate. Monarch butterflies travel to warmer places in the fall. They return to cooler places in the spring. So just like some of the birds that we've talked about that migrate south for the winter, the monarch butterfly does the same thing. It's amazing. So they're going south to Mexico during the winter time, and then they come north in the spring. Chapter 3, Amazing Insects. Butterflies are beautiful, and some are very big. This one has a wingspan of nearly half a foot. 6 inches. That's amazing. So a wingspan is from this side of the wing to this side of this wing. This is its wingspan, and 6 inches is pretty big. That's a big insect. Ants are super strong. They can cart things that are 50 times their own weight. That would be like you carrying a car. Wow. It says leafcutter ants have powerful jaws for tearing leaves, and then they can carry things that are 50 times their own weight. Amazing. Termites can live a long, long time. Some termite queens live for 50 years. So this is a termite queen, and these are the termite workers that are helping to take care of her. Termites can build homes that are as tall as houses. Wow, look at how big that is. Grasshoppers are great jumpers. They can leap 20 times the length of their own bodies. Hey, come back here. It says there are more than 1 million different kinds of insects. Isn't that amazing? Wow. It's fun to learn about insects, and we're going to spend some time this week learning about different kinds of insects. But right now, let's take a look at some different animals and think about whether or not they're insects. Now we have to remember, an insect has 3 body parts and 6 legs and 2 antennae. So let's look at these little plastic creatures and figure out whether they go in the insect category or not insect category. All right, let's take a look at this creature. Well, looks like a butterfly. Let's take a look and see how many legs it has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 legs. It has 2 wings and 2 antennae. Actually, it has 4 wings, but it looks like 2. And it has the 2 antennae in the front, so it's an insect. We're going to put it over here. Let's look at this creature. Is this creature an insect? Well, let's set it down for a second and count legs. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's also a frog. Is that an insect? No. That's a vertebrate. It has bones inside of its body. Let's look at this thing. Wow, that's a millipede. It has lots of legs. Wow, look at all those legs. So would that be an insect or not an insect? Yeah, you're right. It has way too many legs to be an insect. It has to go over here in the not an insect category. Let's take a look at this creature. Well, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legs. It has 2 antennae. So where does it go? Is it an insect or not? You're right, it's an insect. So we'll put it over here with the insects. Here's an interesting little creature. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legs, 2 antennae. Where should it go? Insect or not insect? You are right. That goes in the insect spot. Let's take a look at this guy. Where does he go? Well, let's count legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Uh-oh, that's too many. That's a spider. It goes in not an insect. All right. How about this thing? This looks like a bee, doesn't it? Let's look at its legs. It's kind of hard to see with its wings there, but we'll bend them back so we can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 legs, some wings, and 2 antennae. It's yes, it's an insect. Yay. It'll go over here. How about this thing? Well, it doesn't have any legs, does it? It has kind of a foot. That's what carries it around on the bottom of its body. It doesn't have any antennae. It has a shell. Where does it go? Is it an insect or not? Yeah, you're right. That's not an insect. It doesn't have 6 legs. Okay, let's look at this little guy. Does he have 6 legs? Let's count and find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, it would be an insect. 6 legs. It goes there. How about this friend? Is she an insect? Well, if you were counting legs, you counted 1, 2, 3, 4. And we think that's probably a lizard. Is a lizard an insect? No, lizards aren't insects. How about this one? Can you even see any legs? No, that's silly. Snakes aren't insects. They go over here. They're vertebrates. So we see over here on this side we have insects. Insects have 3 body parts, 6 legs, and 2 antennae. On this side we have a lot of other things that are not insects. We have spiders, we have things with way too many legs, we have things with not enough legs, and we have animals that are vertebrates, that they have bones inside of their body, so they can't be an insect either. Insects are fascinating, aren't they? Let's take a look at some real insects that have been put in some hard stuff so that we can take a really close look at them and see what they look like up close and personal. So I have here, this is called a blister beetle, and we're going to take a look at him. Looks like this. You can see it has 6 legs on its body. It has 2 antennae, and it has that hard outer covering of its body. Interesting. This is another kind of beetle called a leaf beetle. Almost looks like a lady beetle, doesn't it? Once again, 6 legs. It has 2 antennae. If we look on its other side, ooh, that's kind of nifty. We can see where its legs attach. Wow, that's pretty cool. And another kind of beetle, a golden spotted tiger beetle. And we can see why it's called a tiger beetle. It's kind of a cool color, isn't it? I'm pretty sure Timothy the tiger would love that one. Now, some insects we might be a little scared of because they can sting. This happens to be a yellow jacket. It's kind of big, isn't it? It has 6 legs and 2 antennae. We don't usually get close enough to look at this one up close, but it's all nice and safe in that plastic so we can get a good look at it. Wow, it's very colorful, and it does have those 6 legs just like the others. Now, you may not have known this. We often call insects bugs, but there are really insects, a group of insects that are called true bugs, and this happens to be one of them. This is a true bug, and we'll have to talk more about bugs later this week. Bugs have special features, including the 6 legs and the 2 antennae. They usually have a triangle on their back, and they have a leathery part on their wings, and this happens to be one of the true bugs. Do you know what this is? This you might see hopping around in the lawn in the summertime. Has very long back legs, and its relatives are frogs' favorite food. This happens to be a grasshopper, and its relatives are crickets. And of course, we know that our frogs love to eat crickets. Here is a kind of fly. This is called a lantern fly. You can really see its 6 legs sticking out there. That is pretty cool, huh? Now, remember how we talked about having too many legs? This happens to be a ghost spider. It has 8 legs and only 2 body parts, and so it can't possibly be an insect. Sometimes you say, oh, there's a bug, oh, there's a bug, it's a spider. But it is not a bug, nor is it even an insect. It has way too many legs to be an insect. But we will spend some more time this week with our good friends, the insects. We have to look at our caterpillars because they're doing some really interesting things. And we'll talk about some other insects that are going to be really cool. So, for right now, we'll say goodbye. See what else you can find out about insects, maybe even in your own backyard. Bye!